Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Late Night with Cap. It's good to see everyone here. It's another Wednesday, and again, it's another Late Night with Cap. And I have got some cool stuff coming up on this show. We're going to talk about a theme park dude that's really cool. He hangs out in theme parks, and then we've got we're talking about vampires, bad graphic design, and of course, as you know, Bigfoot. So I'm excited for this show. We got a lot to go over. Um, just so you know, I'm thinking about having a stream before the around the holiday of July 4th. It could be the 5th. I'm not quite sure yet, but just look for a post in the community or on my Twitter. You can definitely follow me there if you are new. And again, that's at jgun09. Now, yeah. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do for that stream. I'm not sure. So if you have any ideas, definitely shoot me a DM or let me know in the comments on this show, and maybe we'll do something fun. So let's go ahead and bring him on. He's returning. I'm always fascinated when guests want to come back and enjoy to come back after some of the gauntlet stuff that I have put them through. But this is a good friend of mine, and I'm glad he's having a lot of success. So let's bring on a theme park casual.
Hey kids.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
I am doing well. Despite the craziness of work and everything going on, I'm alive and kicking and still smiling.
Yeah, you're super busy. I've seen you at the parks like at least 3 times a week live, and then you've got your videos that you post. So you're doing every. Let's see, you're close to your 1 year. Is that correct?
I passed my 1 year as far as videos. I'm coming up on my 1 year of live streaming, and you
Okay.
have the distinct honor of being my first live viewer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I remember when you went on live. You were at Knott's Berry Farm, and you're like, "I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna walk around and test the waters." And I remember giving coming on and giving you some support. Rick wants to know
Yep.
where his churro is.
Is he at Knott's Berry Farm with me? Because if you're at Knott's Berry Farm with me, you will get a churro. I
All right,
guarantee you that.
there you go, folks. So if
Fresh
you're
made churro.
fresh made, okay, you know where to get the fresh ones.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they've almost ruined me for any other churros.
Really?
Yeah, other churros just don't cut it after you've had the big fluffy, freshly pressed and fried right in front of you. Oh my God.
Okay, okay. So what? So I guess Knott's Berry Farms churros are better than Disneyland's.
Yes,
Okay. I wasn't.
unequivocally yes,
I'm not. I'm not really a big fan of the churros at Disneyland. They're kind of hard and crunchy. So I guess.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
these
right.
ones
There you go.
when they're cooked right. I mean, they're just fantastic. I mean, I wasn't big on churros until I had these.
Oh,
Now
really?
I'm like, God, I got to get me a churro sundae almost
You
every time I go.
you do it like the sweets on your channel. You when you're live now, you always seem to have either ice cream, some type of cake, or a churro on stream at some point in time. Are you? Do you have a big sweet tooth for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, basically. I'm a dessert guy. I love desserts. So
Yeah. Okay. What's your
yeah.
okay? So at Disneyland, what is your favorite dessert?
See, that's tough because the Dole Whip is a classic, and there is nothing more refreshing than a Dole Whip float on a hot summer
Oh
day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I've grown to love the ice cream from Gibson Girl because it's a great value, and it's where else for $7 You get 2 big scoops of ice cream, and you can choose your flavors: hot fudge, whipped cream, cherry, and in a waffle bowl that has Mickey imprints on it. So
That sounds pretty cool.
exactly.
I was always a fan of the candy coated apples that you would see them make at Disneyland, and then they would be
Mhm.
real fresh, and then you'd eat them, and you feel bad because of all the hard work that went into them.
Yeah, I mean, they're works of art now. I mean, it's crazy how intricate they get with them. But
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of the ones like just like eating it off the stick.
Okay.
Way back when I had my annual pass in the 90s, there was a spot right next to the lockers on Main Street where you could go, and they would actually just slice the apple, put it in a bowl, and then just dump a bunch of caramel in it, and you could just sit there and scoop the caramel with the apple slices. That was how I prefer it.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So again, people, if you don't know theme park casual, or we call them TPC in the world, in this little YouTube community, um, he'll tell you all the ins and outs of the suites if you watch his streams, and so that way you know exactly what to get when you're out there.
Mhm,
I love your Knott's Berry Farm videos. Not many people talk about Knott's Berry Farm,
mhm.
so I keep doing that. I really appreciate those. It makes me kind of wonder, you know, what other theme parks are out there that people have forgotten about and maybe not really talk about a lot because they don't get the clicks or the views too often. So
Right.
keep going to Knott's Berry. You're giving a lot of. Have they contacted you? Like, hey, you're pretty popular. No.
No, last year when they put out the call, because I think every year they put out a call for ambassadors. I thought about it because they said, "Oh, it doesn't matter, how many, followers or anything you have. We just look for people that are, going to fit
Okay.
right with us."
So you
So,
you seem to be good with them. I mean,
well, I
you
was thinking about it this year. I'm curious as to how stringent they are with what I'm allowed to say. But I've seen some streamers that don't necessarily give them
mhm.
tens across the board every time. So
Well, it seems like you're bringing all the ladies in.
bringing all the ladies, why?
Yeah, because Beard said there are a lot of ladies in the chat, and we got Miss Cannoli here. We got Tiffany Johnson in the chat here.
Yeah, Tiffany,
Um,
she's one of my mods.
we
So
got Nicole showing up. I don't know. I'm sure we got Miss Martin Muse. So it seems like you're bringing in all the ladies. So
no, I
that's
think
good.
they're here for the beard. So
Oh yeah, they're here for the beard. They're here for
If you need to
this.
know somebody's name, just ask me.
Who's that?
That is Beardy.
Beardy.
That's not his real name. That's just what I call
Well, hello, Rachel. Good to see you.
Rachel, hey Rachel.
Let's see, everyone. I welcome everyone here, and now, like I said, I was thinking about the one thing that you are going to stream pretty soon on your channel is the Rogers musical, and that's
Yes.
about a Captain America musical that's happening. I guess it's just about his origin story, but Captain America in general. I don't know if they came to me for approval. I don't know if they. I don't know if they approved. They came to me for the rights of that or not. But I don't know. So what's your plan of streaming that show? Like, can you explain how you're going to do it and how you're going to promote it for on your channel? And where is
Well,
it?
it's opening this Friday to the public. There are some. There have already been some dress rehearsals for cast and Disney employees. There's going to be a special D23 performance, I believe, tomorrow. That's a hard ticket event for D23 members. So word is going to get out as to what this thing
Okay.
is
Well,
about and whatnot. But my goal is I will be there at rope drop and I will see what happens. What's the crowd like around the theater, and depending on that, I'll just go ahead and grab a spot in line, or I'll kind of wander around and come back a little bit later. And then they are doing a
okay.
virtual queue, so I may try that and hope that I get a 12:30 show so that I'm guaranteed a spot. But it's still kind of up in the air as to exactly how it's going to go. And I think I've been in the theater twice, so I don't
Okay.
even know where the perfect seats are or a good seat is. So I'm going to aim for and that's the other thing, they're selling the premium seats. So for $30, you get a popcorn bucket and
Wow.
a premium seat to the show, which
I guarantee there's going to be some of this.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee there'll be some cap dancing. There
Yeah,
will be
that's
some of that. I guarantee it. But again, I did not approve of it. But hey, let them have it. I'm also curious if they'll have this scene because that's part of my thing.
yeah. Well, I have seen the props, and they do have the chamber, but
Okay.
whether it's a shirtless Chris Evans inside there that comes on out, I have no idea.
It could be me. It could be a
It could
shirtless
be you.
JT. I mean, I tend to think I'm the real Cap, but hey. Now let's see here. So you've got the Rogers thing. You got 1 year doing your theme park live streams. You're doing really good, and I'm really happy for you because I know you're
Thank
kind
you.
of really close to either 800 subs or I think 900. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm hovering right around 800. It keeps
That's
going like to 803, 799, 802, 798. So I'm just kind of like, all right.
It's just YouTube. But I anybody I have on this show and I interview, either they're around the high numbers of subs or down below 500 or something. I'm always excited when they hit their milestone.
Mhm.
So what is your upcoming milestone for it in the next few months?
Well, my goal for 2023 was to get 1K.
Okay.
So if I get 1K by December 31st, I will have achieved my goal for the year.
Okay, very cool. And you know what? I think you're going to do it. I think you will. So anybody in the chat that doesn't know who TPC is, which is surprising because you're always in the chat and you're always saying hi, kids. If you don't know, please do give them a follow or a subscription out on YouTube, and that'll be great. Now I'm trying something new on this show, and it's something where I show like weird products that maybe people have tried out, or it might be like some interesting uh, product. And I call it as seen on as seen on. So you've seen some of the other products I've shown. I did a putt golf
Mhm.
on the toilet, and that was pretty funny. Now, I can't remember. You do have a kid, but are you married? Are you
Yeah.
married? Okay, and it there's a give and take into marriage, right? So you have to like make some sacrifices. But did you know there's some?
Where's this going, JT?
Well, did you know that there is a product out there that will save all marriages, like all marriages? So it's a blanket, and it like basically, men, we're a little stinky, we make sounds, and our ladies might not like it. This is the Better Marriage Blanket. Basically, it has a scent barrier. It contains the same type of fabric of by military um, pro- uh, project against chemical weapons. So it keeps it all contained, but it's guaranteed to save your marriage, eliminate any flatulence in the bed. So for only like $30, you can get a white, a blue, or a tan. They come in king and queens. So yeah, I mean that might work, right? I am
I
your
suppose.
speeches.
I suppose.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? I would have to get that to my brother. And
Okay.
if it does work for him, then I would say you've got a gold mine here. Because then I would be shouting it from the rooftops that you got to get this blanket. I lived with my brother growing up, and then we had an apartment together for a while. Let me tell you.
Okay, so this would work for your brother. No, you're okay. You don't have any problems.
No, I'm just your average. You know.
Oh,
I'm not going to claim any titles at this point.
How much does it muffle the sound? Asking for a friend. Like, apparently, it hides the sound, it hides the scent, so your loved one next to you can have a nice restful sleep without being bothered with those type of things. So, I mean, hey, if you think this is the thing that will save your marriage, this might be it. Again, you can literally find it anywhere online and get yourself a better marriage blanket.
Yeah, like I said, I may get that for my brother and just ask him to test it out.
Well, for $30, you can get it for
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Just ask his wife. Well, how was it? And she comes up with thumbs up, then we're good.
Yeah. So there you go. All good. So like I think that I think it could save some marriages. I don't know all, but I think it would be a funny project, funny uh, gift to give someone like your brother if you wanted to. So. So to
I don't
be
know if
honest,
that's breaking up your marriage. I think you've got other problems.
so I do have a real commercial, a real thing to talk about. I don't know if you've seen the last two shows. I've been kind of helping promote a friend of mine's invention, toy that he made, kind of a thing that like you get to play with about up to four people, where you have a little ping pong ball and you bounce that around and you try to score in your
Mhm.
color hole. And so I'm just trying to give them a shout out here for this month, just to show this toy. You can follow them here on this website. It's called the Sinko Game. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and play the video, and then let me know what you think about the game.
You sick of tossing games? Is this the only skill we have? Try something new. Introducing Sinko, a fast-paced and heart-pounding game for 4 players that can be played anywhere. Using the handles, tilt the board to move the ball. Sink the ball in the correct hole to score a point. Stop playing tired old tossing games and join a new evolution of yard games.
What do you think? Pretty cool game, right?
Yeah, I was going to say I saw that. It looks interesting. I don't know if drinking should be allowed, because I could just see that board getting just smashed over somebody's head.
It's pretty.
At least the
it's a-
people that I've hung out with. So
Okay, I do own one. It is pretty heavy. It's
Okay.
it's solid plastic. So yes, if you were to, but it's very heavy. So if you were able to lift over your head and then like hit it on someone,
Okay.
you have to be
Yeah,
pretty.
no, it does look fun. It looks interesting. I would definitely, it's
Now it looks easy, right? But once you start doing it, you really gotta
that's where
work around.
that's what made it interesting, is that you think it looks easy, but I could tell that it's like, no, you'd be muscling your way and start realizing, hey, okay, oh.
Yeah, and I think this holiday weekend I'm going to probably play it with a couple family members and see how it goes. But it's a heck of a game. It's a good friend of mine, so I said, you know what? I have a YouTube channel. I could show it, and people might know about it. You never know. You might get some sales off me. I'm not getting anything from them. It's just a good friend. So, like I said, I like to help friends. I like to help everybody out. So that's what I was saying. R2 says, I play that game with my toilet. I call it the Stinko. Really, dude? Yeah. Okay. So here's Jacob though with probably a better joke. Why did the cookie go to the doctor? It was feeling crumbly. He's always
Always
Jacob's
with the dad jokes.
always with the dad jokes. Yeah. Sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're really so good that you really have to think about it.
Right.
Yeah. So now I know you're not really a big fan of the cap freak out with like the bugs and stuff, but I got one for you that I think you'll be okay with. It might make you go wow, but it's not bugs. So with the holiday season coming up and everybody barbecuing, be safe out there, because this might happen to you. Just watch very cover. This is a Ring camera in a neighborhood. So please don't. Yeah. So be careful out there when you're barbecuing, folks. Don't blow up your house. Please don't do this. Please. I mean, look at that explosion. Isn't that wild?
That is crazy. That the whole talk about blowing the roof off the joint, man.
Yeah. So this person, I'm not going to say a man. It could have been anybody, but this person probably needed that blanket, and doesn't know how to barbecue. So, I mean, look how high. I think everyone's okay, because they say no casualties on this. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that pretty crazy?
Those are nuts, man. Absolute crazy.
Let's see here. You promised you wouldn't show that video, JT. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He did get a new barbecue. Hopefully, it's worked out for him. Now everyone knows why I haven't been on ATW. Oh, on After the Weekend? Yeah, I let it out. I'm sorry, man. You know what? Just for that, to make you feel better, I'm going to give you a version of Cap Dance for you. All right, there you go.
Is that what happened to R2's face? Was that?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh. Sorry,
Man, that's a Oh man, yeah, I got you got a little
brutal.
toasty.
That was wrong.
The truth exposed. Yeah, that's what
heck is this
happens on
guy?
here. Yeah. Let's see. R2 is responsible for burning the unit. For the burns unit. Yeah.
Mhm.
We are close to it. Yeah. R2's a little look at it. Wow.
Yeah. All in good fun. All in good fun. We know you're the most handsome one among us.
He is pretty handsome.
He is a handsome devil.
Here's Joker. Here's another handsome lad.
Hey, Joker.
Voice. Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you in the chat. So I know you're looking forward to the bad graphic design that's coming up here. You were on last time we were on the show. We did Halloween costumes because it was around Halloween, so we didn't really get a chance to do some real bad graphic design.
Right.
But this time around, you get some. So. Well, first of all, R2 says, "I see how it is."
I love you, R2. Come on.
So you're in California, and everyone in California, this is not really bad graphic design. It's just kind of interesting that someone would choose to do this for their license plate. Everyone in California usually has a personal plate, right? It's like a thing in California. Do you have one? Is yours like TPC number 1 or something? No,
I do not.
Well,
I'm cheap.
Maybe when you get 1,000 subs, you can do that. But this person, I'm not sure what this says, but it does say anus tart. I'm not sure what they were going for with this, but I thought this was funny because obviously it's in California and you're in California. Why is it like this? It says, "I like the graphic." Oh yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully you don't like the license plate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they were going for. Like I said, either it says a new start. Oh, there you go. A new start.
Okay. I thought it was a nust art.
Yeah, a new start. Let's see. Tom reads boobs. What? You must be doing something. You must be on the bottle tonight or something. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I came across that and I was like, oh, that's a good one. But the next few are kind of theme park related because you're in the theme park and you probably see a lot of weird stuff, right? And a lot of right. Am I guessing you see some weird things out there?
There's some things that happen at theme parks that are odd. Okay.
All right. Well, before we get to the next one here, don't get a personalized plate. It makes you easier for the 5-0 to track you down. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Now, usually when they make a theme park, they theme it off something or a ride, roller coaster. It's always themed something like either it's Harry Potter or it's Mickey Mouse.
Hence the word theme.
Yeah, Avengers. Well, this theme park, they must have been real big fans of Magnum PI. I mean, I'm a fan of the show, but I don't know if I would go on a ride with them. But I don't know.
Those carnivals, man.
And that hat is on par. I mean, whoever painted that did a really good job.
Yeah.
What do you think this ride is? Because I don't. I just saw this picture and I have no idea.
I would think it's like the two swinging like hammerhead kind of thing. It's like themed off his mustache, so they look like two big mustaches swinging back and forth.
Or can it be like one of the Viking ship that kind of?
Oh yeah, a big giant mustache swinging, just sliding back and forth. There you go.
There you go. Or maybe it's a roller coaster that's like on a wave because he was. I think he surfed in the show. But do you think Tom Selleck would approve this graphic of himself?
Well, I'm pretty sure he probably commissioned it.
Okay. Okay.
He probably said, I want somebody to name a ride after me.
I like how they did bring in the curls and his hair and his hat. So yeah. So then it would be a mustache ride. Oh. That gives you a double laugh. Yeah, that gives you a Tom laugh and a rim shot. So that's pretty good. Let's see. The carousel where you ride on Higgins is terrifying. Hmm.
Mhm.
He's going hard today. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he is.
A Ferrari GTO ride. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be fun. I think that would be cool, right? It'd be like a race car, and you kind of like chasing the bad guy or something. I don't know. This one doesn't seem that detailed. I think it's very what you suggested. It's probably one of those like just swinging with a
Well,
bunch of bikes.
I'm just glad they went with the Magnum PI angle with that
Oh,
name, because
oh,
there
yeah.
there could have just went way out there.
You are right. You are right. So the next thing is basically so a lot of rides sometimes if they don't have the right cushion or they might be hard on your tush, right? You might get jumbled around or you might get hurt.
Mhm.
See, but this one you actually get a ride inside of one. I always love it when I get them speechless. I really do. I really do. That's right. That's a
I don't even know,
carousel.
how do you even come up with that and think, "You know what?
I don't know. I guess it's someone mooning someone, and then you're riding inside the moon
On a
maybe
carousel, though?"
on a carousel. Yeah, yeah. uh, yeah. Nope. Well, it looks like they're having fun. I think you can spin it
Yeah,
if you look inside
big
there. It
out
looks
of it, yeah.
like they can. The kids are having fun. I mean,
I mean,
that's all that matters.
is that the Ace Ventura carousel?
It could be. It could be. Yeah, it could be the Ace Ventura carousel. So, I mean, would you? I mean, it's harmless. I don't think that's really that bad, but it's questionable.
Couldn't they just go like everybody else, just make it like a duck that you sit in, or a teacup of some
Mm,
sort?
well, they do have horses over here, so they needed one of those like group ride things.
But they picked that?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Well, maybe it's the farmer, like the guy who runs the carrot. Like maybe I don't
is that what farmers do?
know. Maybe the plumber. Maybe it's the plumber.
A plumber?
It's okay.
So, you got detention. You screwed up.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't ride that. Let's see what it says here. Got to put the little shit somewhere.
There you go.
He's right. He's right. I love how the dad. I think that's the dad, and then the kids are just having. He's just like, I'm not even involved in this at all. So, but yeah. So we got the one. We got one more here for you. And usually after the theme park, you get some type of souvenir, and it's something of another character and something like that. And it
Mhm.
always kind of makes you remember the time at
Right.
the theme park. And now this is from a park that well you go to frequently. So I mean,
Ah,
I love the big sigh.
no matter what.
Yep.
No matter what, that is.
Exactly. Even your dog was upset about it.
Yeah, I know exactly. The dog's like, "I'm out of here. That's enough."
What is this one? Oh, okay. Climb inside and I'll take you for a ride. Well, you could do both for the drink here. Yeah, Joker likes this one. I like how he's all serious too.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna say, he's just like, "Now what are you gonna do?"
the straw placement is questionable, but the face alone is just literally like he's just staring down at you while
Mhm.
you're.
He's
sucking
like,
down
"I
your
know you're
water.
thirsty."
You can laugh. You can laugh. It's okay. Here, we'll all laugh with you. So, but yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Yeah, I saw this one. There's a couple cups out there like this, but this one is the more one that kind of takes me back. Like, really, the face and the
Yeah.
arms crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's just
Uh, Now I'm okay with it being it looks like someone left it, like they bought it and then they decided not to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a put that down. I'm not buying that for you.
Tim, come on. Don't act like I am a little impressed. It also extends if you look at the straw. Well, there you go. There's some bad graphic design for you from theme parks or even California. So what'd you think? Last time Mike said it was, you know, costumes, but now you actually got a full effect.
Yeah, yeah, those were good. I'm still trying to figure out the theme of the carousel thing.
Well, maybe it's just this.
Yeah. All right. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I want to thank you again for the shout out on one of your streams. You mentioned that you were going to be on the show Wednesday. You said to your fans to come over. And the way you describe my channel was really funny. Like I think you said he's going to show me some funny pictures, and maybe we'll talk about some Bigfoot, and then hilarity just goes on from there. I'm not sure what to expect. I appreciate that. That's a very good example of my channel. So anyone out there, if you want to know about it, yep, you can listen to his live stream and he will tell you exactly what it is. So I appreciate that. And if you are new here and if you're coming from theme park streams, give me a like if you like what you see here. If you want to see more, you can definitely subscribe. That'd be awesome. I did see that someone did. I think it was Tiffany. I think it was Tiffany that subscribed. So that was pretty cool. Thank you very much. So before I get into the main topic, now one thing I want to ask you, in California Adventures, there's I think it's a Ferris wheel that kind of swings back and forth. Now that's one of my favorite rides, but it's also very terrifying. And the
Right.
last live stream that you were on, you were having such a great time, but were there people inside there with you?
The last one, no, I was actually the lines were so short that they weren't forcing
Okay.
small groups together, so I was able to ride
So
by myself.
my wife wanted me to tell you that when we first rode that, when it was first like it was a ride, we didn't think it was going to do that thing, right?
Mhm.
And she literally was terrified. She screamed the whole time. She hated that ride. She'll really never go on it again. So that's a good ride, right? When you do that, when that happens.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. On the last live stream, I showed that they have the motion sickness bags right there in the car with you, and I told people it's literally probably the most surprisingly terrifying ride there.
Yeah, you just think it's a Ferris wheel, and then you get on, and if you're
Think,
not
oh,
watching,
you see them swinging, and you think, oh, it's just a little bit of swing, no big deal. But when you're on there, you're like, you
swinging.
get probably a good 60 degrees out. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a heck of a swing at some points. So
yeah, it's pretty terrifying. Like you can make them swing more, right? You can like move your body to make it do more, or is it?
you'd probably have to really work at it just because they're really having the rails that it's on. They're pretty
Okay.
solid, but it gets you going. And the first time I went on it, it kind of shocked me. It was very, very surprising. I love the thrills and everything, so it didn't scare me, but I was just like, oh my God, this gets going. And
Now,
I've been on, and I've tried to take people, and tell them, oh, it's no big deal, no big deal. And then just watch them just,
you're
crumble.
horrible. You're
Yeah.
horrible. Have you? I don't remember the bags though. I really don't. Like, I don't know if that's a new thing, but I don't remember those. And
Yeah,
that was
I'm not sure when those were added, but yeah, they were there.
okay. All right. Well, of course, we always have a main topic here on the show, and this show, I wanted to go over something very interesting. I've been meaning to talk about with everyone here, and this is a story about some people in Poland. They're excavating out there, and they found 400 vampire graves. So, literally 400 graves of supposed vampires, and they found interesting things that what they did to these grave sites. I'm gonna go over that and everything. And it's a very interesting story. Before we get into it, do you believe in vampires?
In the traditional supernatural, live forever kind of thing,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right.
Do I
well,
believe there are blood-sucking, no good weirdos out there? Yeah, probably.
okay. I would agree with that, right? Maybe there's always a truth to some myth, right? There was
Right.
always some weirdo or something weird that was happening.
Yeah, and
And
I think in our day and age, we can sit there and look back on history and go, okay, somebody did something, and that's how that legend got started.
someone bit someone on the neck and just ran
Yeah,
away.
yeah, it's just, yeah,
Or someone they thought was dead and then woke up because that happened a lot, right? They like
yeah, exactly.
because like they're in a coma, right? And people in comas they could wake up a year, 6 months, even years. So maybe they woke up a week later and they're like, hey, what? And they came out.
Decided to drive a wooden stake through their heart, and
Yeah,
okay,
something
there
like
we go.
that.
Now they're dead.
But let's see, blood sucking, no good weirdos. Yeah, they run the country. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I don't believe in vampires, but I met quite a few. He might have. I mean, he is in Vegas,
Yeah.
and he works late nights. So let's see, 400 vampire grapes. That sucks. That's a good one, Jacob. Good one. No, it's Graves. So, yeah. So while overseeing the expansion of a road in Lozino, Poland. So this is in Poland. Archaeologists came across a mass grave near a church. But this wasn't just any graveyard. Upon closer examination, the archaeologists found that several of the dead had been treated as vampires. So I mean, that's a lot of people. 400, over 450 bodies discovered near the church. Many had been apparently dug up and reburied. Some had been decapitated and had skulls between their legs. Others had coins placed in their mouths, and 20 to 30% had bricks arranged alongside their head, arms, and legs. So this is what people used to do to if they thought something was wrong with someone, right? Either they had some disease or they couldn't explain it, but and they really thought these people were vampires, so they decapitated them. This is pretty crazy, right? What if you were out there digging in your backyard and you found this would be pretty amazing,
Yeah, amazing isn't quite the word I would use, but
right? Well, okay. Like if you're into like
I would be more in the line of you moved the headstones.
okay. You what? You built houses on the grave. You didn't move the graves, but you moved. Yeah. No. I get that. Yeah. It's a good movie, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
But of course there are vampires. There are CEOs and board of directors of Disney. Oh, okay. Well, good to know, Joker. But yeah, but the fact that there were 450 of them by this church, so they must have had some epidemic or something was going on with these people that there was so amount of them, and I'm not sure if they just we're gonna get into that, but I'm not sure if they really knew at the time what they were dealing with. But yeah, this is a picture of one of those bones or
Mhm.
bodies that they found where they would put the idea was that they decapitate their head and then they would put them down by their legs and then they put those bricks so the vampire can't pick up his head and reattach it. In addition, the archaeologists also found a huge mass of loose bones. Just, in so here's a picture of that. According to the Polish site, so they just found another pile of bones. The lead archaeologist explained that the church near the graveyard was first built in the early 18th century, then expanded after 1945. At some point, bones were deposited into the ossuary. So, like, this was going on for a while. So they were just finding vampires and then burying them here. But the vampire skeletons are certainly the most fascinating find. So there's all kinds of weird stuff in this church. So I mean, we've had our own little we've had the witch trials here in the
Mhm.
U.S. So I wonder if back and maybe it wasn't documented, but maybe there was some type of thing where people thought their whole town was just run by vampires
Right.
and evil CEOs, and they just took them all out. What do you think?
Well,
Like,
that's kind of what I was thinking. Was it just like somebody came into this town and was just like these people are weird, they're vampires. Kill them all.
Like a Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. But I'm curious. I mean, they thought they were vampires, but yet don't vampires like crumble to dust in sunlight?
So it's interesting you bring that up. Now, before we go forward, I've seen other photos of same in Poland where they put something around their neck like a blade or something when they bury them, because their theory was if you decapitate the person, the vampire, they cannot become a vampire. They cannot be a vampire any longer. So if they bury them and they're locked in and they wake up, they would chop their head off for them. So that was one. That's another thing that they do over there, or they did. So we discovered. So here's another quote from one of the people there. We discovered examples of belief in the dead returning from the grave. So in Poland, the myth of vampires is not like you got bit and then you're like walking around being a vampire. You would die, then would be almost like a zombie. Then you would become a vampire. So that when we see zombie movies now, we even think about, you shoot them in the head or you take their head off and they're done, right? So that's interesting. That's an interesting thing that is even in the 18th century Poland, that they thought that if they cut off the head of something evil, that it would be no more. So yeah, it was believed that if the member of the deceased family was dying shortly after the funeral, he or she could be a vampire. Therefore, after burial, the grave was dug up, and then deceased head was cut off, which was then placed in the leg. So that's another thing they did. So instead, if you're worried about your family member becoming a vampire, you would automatically cut off their head in the beginning, so they wouldn't become one. One of the skeletons was a woman who had been decapitated and reburied with the skull of her child. So that's pretty sad. But like, so they were either being cautious or they do the Ewer one. So that's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you look and you go, what can like a mass hysteria, a weird social persuasion do to people?
Well, we kind of saw that a few years ago, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, it's like you look at it and you go, man, that's weird. Well, what did we deal with just a few years ago?
Exactly. So, they could have been chopping our heads off. Who knows?
Right. Well,
but it's just interesting, right? That even back then in the 18th century, if something was different, odd, no one could explain it. They freaked, and then they decided, or they were concerned. I don't know if I should really say it's freak, but they were so concerned that they thought it was a vampire or a zombie that they had to do something to prevent it. That was pretty extreme. Right. And I mean, we see some of that now, years ago, or a lot of time through history. It's something that we can't explain right away. Humans tend to go to the extreme on some cases. So they also found coins. The coins found in certain skeletons' mouth was meant to seal their soul and give them passage to the afterlife. And now a lot of cultures did this, either in the eyeballs, or they put money on their chest, or just in Egyptians, they put a lot of gold or trinkets in their tomb. So a lot of people do this, and that's crazy. That's interesting that all across the world, that regardless of what culture you come from, that seems to be a thing that we do. According to Poland's First News, at least one of the coins dates back to 1846, which makes sense as anti-vampire practices were popular in the 19th century. So there you go. There was a lot of anti-vampires. Maybe there was like a huge cult or some crazy thing. Indeed, the vampire graveyard full of decapitated skeletons and skeletons with coins in their mouth is part of a larger anti-vampire tradition reflected in the Polish literature, folk tales, and earlier archaeologists' research. In fact, the site notes that some of these ancient practices have been preserved in certain religions to this day. So there you go. Like it's just something that they're very big on. We don't want any vampires in Poland.
Right.
So if you are a vampire out there and you're one of the glittery ones, you aren't expected.
Yeah, don't go to
Don't
Poland,
go,
I guess.
yeah, don't go to Poland. So here's a artist rendition of what they thought a vampire was. So where did these vampiric customs actually come from? According to the Agent Oranges, many cultures conflated people suffering from tuberculosis with vampires. So yeah, that makes sense, right? That disease makes you cough up blood.
Hmm.
And some people and pale
Right.
become very pale, so you could look like death walking. Because the sick were often pale and thin and coughed up blood, they were thought to have the vampire curse. So maybe these people weren't. Maybe they were just diseased, like they had some
Right. It was.
couldn't explain.
Mhm.
Yeah, in Poland, however, legends around vampires could be a bit different. Agent Orange Origins reports that vampires were thought to be more like zombies, and I mentioned that corpses that came back to life. Thus, people believe that decapitating the skeletons, feared to be vampires, could prevent them from rising from the dead. So there was a combination there. They were vampires or they were zombies. And it's interesting because, again, like I mentioned, if you look at all the movies, pop culture, comics, that's how you get rid of a zombie. You
Right.
go for the head, right? So,
Yep.
but yeah, I thought this was kind of funny. It reminds me of the Dancing Bones cartoon.
Hmm.
I can't remember if that's a silly symphony or not. But
Yeah, Silly Symphony.
that's what that looks
Skeleton
like
dance.
to me. Yeah. Let's see here. Vampire legends date back to at least the 11th century. So, people have been afraid of vampires for a while. Sometimes the living world would be decapitated subject vampires, like in the Polish vampire graveyard, but sometimes they would go to a step further and ensure that the vampire didn't rise from its grave. They would hammer a metal rod straight through the skull. So it's either that or they did the neck thing, like I mentioned.
Hmm.
Hopefully now the dead of the Polish vampire grave, dug up at least twice, will finally be able to rest. So the people who dug them up are hopefully going to give them a proper, send off or something to do something nice for them. I don't know, but this was in the news quite a bit ago, and it was a big find because you don't normally come across a 400, 400 people gravesite that isn't marked, like you said, like poltergeist type of style. So,
Right.
well, there you go. There's some vampire lore and history for you. You didn't think you'd get that on this show, did you?
No, when you invited me, we arranged the date. I was like, oh, cool. It's the show before 4th of July, Cap. It's going to be real cool. It'll be patriotic. Vampires.
Well, I can give you this. You never know what you're gonna get here, folks.
Yep.
Just so you know. But yeah, we do always like to talk about the mystery, the history, or like the unique stories out there in the world.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was just fascinated by the fact that there was so many people like that, and then what they tried to do to either one prevent the disease, whatever it was, or I don't know, end some vampires.
Yeah, like I said, it's just weird what could happen when there's the mass hysteria that happens, and somebody says something, does something, and it just keeps going and going, and next thing you know, people are decapitating skeletons.
Yeah. Well, Beard of Liberty, if you do want to be buried with a metal rod through your skull, you should go to Poland and say you're a vampire.
There you go.
So, yeah. All right. So there you go. That was your main topic. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I always find those things
It
fascinating.
was interesting. It was interesting.
Okay.
Vampires aren't necessarily my thing, but archaeology and stuff like that is always kind of cool.
Yeah,
to
it
talk
wasn't
about.
really vampires.
Right.
I have to do
Or was it?
I have to do the trick, the YouTube trick. Oh, vampires. And then, there it goes. He's not okay, folks. You know what this means? He will not be back for a third time.
Are you serious? I got to see what the third one is.
Yeah, the first one you got a clown hotel that was really
Motel, yeah.
creepy, and then the first one you got the clown motel that was really creepy, and this one you got vampires. So, I don't know.
So we should be at what, like werewolves or something next time?
That could be a group stream. A lot of people are asking me for the group stream discussions about things like this. So
Okay.
there are people out there that really believe in this stuff. So I always want to give them a platform to say why. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, speaking of myths and mythical creatures. As you know, we always share something about Bigfoot on Late Night with Cap. So I've been showing this Instagram account in the last few shows because the paintings are amazing. Amazing just by the fact of what is on them, and how they describe Bigfoot and the Bigfoot lore, right? So, like last week, we had one where it was, like a family, like how they got married and how they practiced that, and then there was one where how like a guy how they transform into humans. This one, again, this is from Mark Rogers' art. One of these days, I'm gonna reach out to him to see if he wants to come on the channel, and we can just
Yeah.
painting. So this one is the fiery wrath. This is what he calls this painting. Now, I guess usually he describes what's going on in the picture, and this one's just like he's like, hey, if you needed an art of like a Bigfoot like shooting fire out of its mouth, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah,
Did you?
that one's interesting. I didn't know he had the Godzilla-esque, fire breathing sort of thing.
No, I didn't either. Like and this looks like they're some pioneers on the Oregon Trail, and they came across this fire breathing. I didn't know. I just didn't know they did that. I really didn't.
Yeah, he'd have to be very careful because he could start a big fire if he just like sneezes wrong.
He could, and Smokey the Bear will be really mad at him if he.
Mhm.
I bet they're friends.
I would hope so.
But here's another picture of what he's done. It's not Bigfoot, but it is aliens, and in his world of
It's not
painting,
big, but it is aliens.
he combines them. They're like friends. They know each other. They hang out. They have 4th of July barbecues, maybe. But yeah, they. But yeah, this is another painting of the mystical creatures that are out there that he believes in. So this is such a fascinating account out there on Instagram, and his paintings.
They look
And
very
then,
tarot card-esque.
yes, and then here's another one. This is some more aliens. Does it just coming out of the hole here, and they're all in different colors. It's like they're Star Trek,
Yeah,
right?
kind
You
of.
got the red, the orange, the
Mhm.
blue. I mean, it's very fascinating. Let's see. Wait, did Bigfoot start the Canadian Wild? He could have. He could have. He could have
It
done
has
that.
not been ruled out at this point.
No, with breath like that. Maybe it was. Maybe it's his rendition of like when they breathe on you, it feels hot. Like,
Yeah,
you need
that makes more sense.
maybe you need a Tic Tac. But this I hear. This guy looks like he's like, hey, what's up? Why are you coming out of these holes?
Hey, aliens.
Is this artist? Is this the artist that did this on LSD? I'm not sure. I don't think he is. He doesn't say anything like that. But he does some fascinating work. I would not. I would say that he's.
Those seem too. There's too much story in them.
Oh, there's
You know,
plenty of story in this account.
but that's what I mean. Each one of them, it's like that. There's a narrative
Mhm.
that's happening in them, and it's like to me, it's like if it was LSD, it'd just be like, what the heck am I looking at?
Yeah, so he
You know?
puts little Easter eggs too. Like there's little things in there. Like what is that? Like why is there a tree stump with a skeleton head and bunny ears?
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
entertaining.
I love when artists have their little idiosyncrasy things like that. It's like in every single painting I have to put like, an apple, or there's always got to be a snake somewhere and you just got to find it kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't really do that with my designs. Do you? You do that with your designs?
No, I mean, design is different than art. I always have to remind people design has to function. And, when you're doing it for, as a professional design, you tend to have to be a chameleon for the most part, unless you take your art to the point to where people want you to do their packaging with your art style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
well,
but usually if you're a designer, you need to make sure that the design works for what you're trying to do.
very. So what I used to do, and not often, but if I used to work in a print shop, and if we had a really gnarly, just really awful customer that ordered business cards, and they wanted like a line or something in their business, we would make that font so small that it would look like a line to you, but if you took a magnifying glass to it, it would say something about them. It's something
That's
I do.
terrible. Just so my clients know, I would never do something like that.
I was young. I was a young designer. I'm like, dude, I'm literally just making a business card that says your name and you're a tree trimmer. What do you want from me? Like, don't
Right.
yell at me. So look at here. Good to see Ryan. Good to see Ryan from Legion Games. Nicely explained, PPC. I never thought about it that way. Look at that.
There you go.
You're giving advice on desserts, design, and know what ride not to ride, like
Yeah.
the one we saw.
Don't climb
But-
into the spinny guy's butt when you're riding the carousel.
Oh my gosh. If anybody came to the stream and was like,
Yeah, exactly. I hope you were here
I'm just
earlier.
gonna show yeah, I'm just gonna show my good old friend Beard of Liberty.
Hedge trimming, porch sweeping, garden watering, dirt digging, leaf raking, weed whacking, leaf blowing, lawn mowing. Ah, ah.
Gotta love Beard of Liberty. He's a good dude.
He's very
I'm gonna-
talented.
Yes, he's very talented at his job, and I love his posts about all his what he comes across. He's got some big exciting news happening. I think in a day or two. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's doing a lawn mowing channel. I don't know. That would be kind of fun, right? Seeing him ride a lawnmower. That would be kind of cool. Maybe that's what he's doing. I have no idea. Let's see. I guess Ryan and Beard, they got a kick out of that. Well, we're coming up on the hour, and I again had a great time with you. This has always been fun, and again, I just want to say I am truly happy how successful you're becoming as one of the theme park channels out there. Because I know it's a hard spot to kind of make yourself shine in there. There's a lot of channels out there that do theme parks. So the fact that you're getting noticed and you're getting people and everything, I think that's fantastic. So
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. It's these guys like you that inspired me to actually even start doing a channel and get out there and be on
sometimes you just
camera
gotta get
and
out
do
there,
stuff.
right? And you gotta have like some type of personality, and not everything's gonna go right. Not everything's
No,
gonna go
geez.
your way. You're gonna have some audio issues. You're gonna have some glitchy things. People are gonna, may show up, may not, but you just got to keep going for it, and you'll find your team, you'll find your group that will support you all the way. And it looks like you have a good crowd, so I think that's great, and I'm looking forward to the Rogers live event that you're going to show. I'll definitely tune into that. You're either gonna a very good comment from me, or maybe I'll just do.
That's enough.
Yeah, I'm able to throw my shield at them and tell them you're done. No more singing.
Too far.
You know what though? Even though I think the Avenger stuff is pretty cool that they did that over at Disneyland, I'm always gonna miss the Bugs Life. I always thought that was fun. So.
Yeah, it was cute. It had its place. If it was for the littles and whatnot. And honestly, I really don't spend much time at Avengers Campus. I kind of breeze through there because it just feels like I don't feel like I'm in another place. Let's put it that way.
Just think about all the cool live stream videos you could have had in Bugs Life, riding on those little kid rides.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's me and my son were talking about the bumper cars that were like the slowest bumper cars they've ever been made. It's like you're barely moving and you bump and you don't even notice that you bumped something.
Well, they took away Bugs Life. They took away Splash Mountain. What's next, right? Haunted Mansion or something. So,
well, basically, because it goes to the Nightmare Before Christmas in a couple of weeks, it seems. So we actually, me and some of the other guys, Vash from Orange Grove 55, we always joke around that we get our Haunted Mansion overlay for the first part of the year, and then it goes back to its Nightmare Before Christmas state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought that was cool that they did that, but it's kind of like run its course, I think, the Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's got there's a lot of, it's a cult following, and the sales, the merchandise sales are just too good for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what they look for now.
Yep.
But now we're I got okay. One more question for you, and then we'll call it a night. But if there was one thing in Disney in Knott's Berry Farm that you could have in Disneyland, what would it be?
Take something from Knott's and put it in Disneyland.
Hmm.
It would be a toss-up between Calico Mine Ride, even though Disneyland had something kind of like that, or basically the whole of Ghost Town. Just take
Okay.
all of Ghost Town and put it in Disneyland. And I think that's part of what is kind of lacking at Disney right now, is that that throwback to yesteryear.
Yeah, like Frontierland is kind of they don't really.
Yeah, when you compare Frontierland to Ghost Town, Frontierland feels completely plastic.
Okay. Yeah.
Ghost Town feels so real. So it really is an amazing little thing that you can go and explore. In fact, I want to go through there and really kind of dig into it a little bit.
Hmm.
Just because there's most of those buildings are actual buildings that were trucked in from real frontier towns.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, that's why I always tell people you can't create another Knott's Berry Farm if you're meaning to create one, because Knott's Berry Farm just kind of happened. So you won't be able to get that same kind of history and feel that Knott's Berry Farm has.
All right, well that's good to know. And one thing I think Disney should definitely focus on maybe updating is Tomorrowland. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really
At the very least, the aesthetics of it, it's just a jumbled mess. It doesn't feel like Tomorrow in any capacity whatsoever. It's like either take Space Mountain look and make it, go through the entire land and have it all have that sleek, clean, minimalist, modern look.
Even the cars that you ride aren't really modern.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody talks about that. It's like, why aren't those electric cars yet?
They think they would spend their money on over there, right, and not on silly stuff. But it's okay. I'm not a CEO. I'm not the Disney man. So we'll see. Well, again, it was great having you on. I hope you had a good time. And
I had a blast. Thank you for having me again. I look forward to number 3.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Make sure. Maybe I'll find something really special for you next time.
Okay.
And before I let you go, and before we let everyone go, I'm going to give you one more cat dance. Okay.
I love that dancing cat. So perfect.
R2 hates it, and he will not let me put it on after the weekend for whatever reason.
He doesn't hate it. He loves it.
And
that's the truth. He loves it.
If he's still here, why don't you comment, buddy, if you love it. So there you go. Okay, so coming up next Wednesday is the 5th. I might be doing something on the stream. I haven't decided. It depends on what I'm doing with my family. And then, but on after the weekend, we are off on Monday, but we will be back on the 10th. Again, that's going to be different. It won't be live. It will be a video that we're pre-recording and dropping. And then we have a new show called After the Weekend, Weekend Harder. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag on that one, but it's going to be a different stream. It will most likely be on a Friday or a Saturday night. And we have some thoughts and some ideas that we're going to do on that show. And I'm sure, me and R2 have a great time all the time. So I'm sure it'll be
looking
fun.
Forward to it.
And besides the Rogers stream, what else do you have coming up?
Coming up this entire weekend, I'm going to be at parks. I will be at Disney California Adventure on Friday, live streaming, hoping to catch the Rogers the Musical. On Saturday, I will be at SeaWorld San Diego, live streaming in the probably early afternoon, probably start around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And then on Sunday, I will be at Knott's Berry Farm for the evening, all the live entertainment, and obviously a churro sundae. Very cool. Sounds fun. All right, everyone. You have a good night. You have a good rest of the week. Have a safe 4th of July holiday. Make sure you don't blow up your house. Like that video we just saw. Don't blow up houses. All right, everyone. Have a good night. See you later. See you, kids.